Greetings everyone, my name is Livinus. My presentation today will be based on organization cybersecurity policy and executive summary. Stay tuned. I will speak on the processes for the creation and/or changes to the different types of standards. Processes for creating and/or changes standards in order to ensure that standards are current and relevant to the environment in which they operate. This process should include a review of existing standard, identification of any gaps that needs to be addressed, and a review of potential new standards that could be adopted. Additionally, the process should include a feedback mechanism to allow stakeholders to provide input to the proposed changes or additions to the standard. Let me speak on the organization's needs cybersecurity framework, alignment to specific standard, functional areas, implementation ties, and profiles. The needs cybersecurity framework provides specific guidance on the alignment of various standards to the organization's cybersecurity program. The framework outlines specific functional areas such as identification, protection, detection, response, and recovery. Additionally, the framework provides implementation ties to help organizations determine the level of implementations and maturity of their cybersecurity program. The framework outlines profiles to help organizations determine their current cybersecurity posture and identify areas of improvement. The NIST CSF is aligned with specific standards including ISO 27001 and the NIST 800-53, as well as implementation ties and profiles that are tailored to the organization's risk and security needs. At this junction, let me speak on the cybersecurity life cycle, cybersecurity framework, and methodologies to establish a cybersecurity program that supports the organization's strategic initiatives. The organization's cybersecurity program should typically involve stakeholders from the organization, such as senior leadership, operational staffs, and security experts. Input from external stakeholders such as regulatory bodies and industry associations can also be taken into consideration. The cybersecurity life cycle is a process that outlines the steps required to establish a comprehensive cybersecurity program that support the organization's strategic initiatives. This includes defining the scope of the program, identifying threats and vulnerabilities, deploying security controls, monitoring and assessing the effectiveness of the program, and responding to incidents. Additionally, the cybersecurity framework should be used to help define the organization's security objectives and determine the best methods for achieving them. Organizations should also utilize appropriate methodologies such as threat modeling, risk assessment, and security audits to ensure that the program is comprehensive and effective. Please permit me to talk on the organization's security policy and how it supports the business objectives. The organization's security policy should be designed to support organization business objectives. This includes defining the roles and responsibility of staff, setting out acceptable use policies, and outlining security controls that must be implemented. Additionally, the policy should cover topics such as incident response, data protection, and outline the consequences of non-compliance. The organization system and network diagram. The system and network diagram should be created to provide an overview of the organization network infrastructure. This diagram should include the network architecture, system components, and the connections between them. This can be used to identify potential vulnerabilities and to ensure that the organization's security controls are properly implemented. Just like every other part of this presentation, let me speak on this interesting part: the organization's risk assessment, business impact analysis, and a business continuity plan. A risk assessment should be conducted to identify areas of risk within the organization's environment. This assessment should include an analysis of asset, threats, vulnerabilities, and potential impacts. Additionally, a business impact analysis should be conducted to identify the potential consequences of a security breach or other disruption to the organization's operations. Finally, a business continuity plan should be developed to provide guidance on how to respond and mitigate the impact of a security incident or other business disruption. It is important to develop and implement a business continuity plan that outlines the steps to be taken to restore operation in the event of a disruption. To that forby, I will compare and contrast different types of standards, including laws, regulations, policies, voluntaries, and framework-based standards. Different types of standards can be used to establish the requirement of an organization's cybersecurity program. Laws and regulations are mandatory standards that must be followed, while policies are voluntary standards are typically adopted by the organization. Framework-based standard provides a guidance on how to meet the requirements of laws, regulations, and policies. Framework-based standards such as the NIST Cybersecurity Framework provides a comprehensive approach to managing security risk. Okay, let me talk on the incident response and the incident handling plans. An incident response plan should be developed to provide guidance on how to respond to and handle security incidents. This plan should include procedures for identifying and responding to incidents, as well as procedures for mitigating the impact of the incidents. Additionally, the plan should define roles and responsibilities for the various stakeholders involved in the incident response process. Moving on to the cybersecurity awareness infographics. An infographics can be used to visually communicate the importance of cybersecurity and the steps that can be taken to protect the organization's environment. The infographics should include information on the types of threats and vulnerabilities, the measures that can be taken to protect against them, and the role that employees can play in protecting the organization's environment. The infographics is used to educate stakeholders about cybersecurity risks and to promote cybersecurity best practice. An executive summary brings me to the last part of this presentation. An executive summary should be included to provide a concise overview of the organization's cybersecurity program. This should include an overview of the program goals, the processes and standards that has been adopted, the security controls that has been implemented, and the measures that has been taken to ensure the continued protection of the organization's environment. The summary should also outline the plans for monitoring and responding to security incidents, as well as the steps that will be taken to ensure the organization's compliance with applicable laws and regulations. The executive summary should also provide a brief overview of the organization's risk assessment, business impact analysis, and business continuity plan, as well as a comparison of different types of standards that the importance of cybersecurity awareness.